So this is 2 years ago. I'm 16 years old and it's my summer holiday, so I don't have school for a while. And I'm applying to just a ton of jobs on this website called Indeed. Some of you will know it, but essentially it just has loads of job postings. And honestly, like most of them are absolutely shit, but I'm 16 years old, I need a job, so I'm applying to every single one of them. So I'm sitting at my little laptop and any job I could get, whether that's stacking shelves, I could clean toilets, I'll sweep up floors, honestly, anything I could get, I would have applied to it. And I've done over 500 up to this point. And I'm refreshing my email on another tab and not a single one has replied back. It's been months, application after application, until one of them responded to me. A week later, I'm sitting at KFC and opposite me is the manager. He's asking me questions and I think it's going pretty well. Like, I haven't had a job before, but I'm pretty confident. Like, I'm kind of moving my body around, and honestly, in like interviews, I didn't realize this, but most of the interviews just small talk. He's kind of just trying to get to know you as a person. So we've got a little back and forth going, and I thought I'm getting the job 100%. I mean, it's at KFC, like it's just serving chicken, it's like flipping burgers and stuff. I'm sure that I could do it. It was going well until he asked me this final question. He asked me, what experience do you have working in a place like this? Now, this was my first interview that I've ever done. I've never had a real job before this. Sure, I did this little editing thing on the side. I was editing like random Fortnite videos, but I didn't know how to say that to him. And I kind of freeze up because genuinely I don't know what to say because I haven't had a real job, and how am I going to tell him I've edited Fortnite videos? So I tell him the best thing that I could come up with. I tell him that I run a business and I work with these huge YouTubers helping them to grow their channels. And he looked genuinely surprised. Like, you could see his eyes widening and he was like, oh wait, like tell me more. And I'm telling him like, oh yeah, I use this software called Premiere, and I'll say at home it's work from home and stuff like that. And I'm thinking like, okay, this has got to impress him. How many other 16-year-olds do you know that run their own business? And it's like literally all I've been doing is sitting at home for the last year. But nonetheless, I told him that. I go home that day, my mom opens the door and she asking me like, oh, how did it go? Like, was everything alright? I'm so confident. I got my chest out telling her like, yeah, I'm almost like 100% that I've got a job. I answered the questions well. He asked me where I work and I told him I had my own thing. It showed I had initiative, and I'm telling him how I had to deal with paying clients so I can deal with customers here as well. So telling my mom like, mom, don't worry about it. A week later, I hear a letter coming through the letterbox and I almost like run downstairs. If you saw how fast I ran, you'd be surprised. Like, I came running down. So now I've got the letter in my hand opened up and I'm reading it out loud to my mom. My mom's right behind me and she's asking, is it about the job? And slowly she sees my excitement turn into disappointment, and I don't even answer her because on that letter it said that we appreciate your interest in this role, but we won't be going further in your application. I was so sure that I would get this job, and here I was, 16 years old, thinking I'm some confident guy, but I can't even get a job at KFC. You're telling me that I can edit videos, I can run my entire business, I can make, okay, I was only 16 and I was making like 400 bucks a month, but that's a lot more than most people. So you're telling me I can do all of that, but I can't flip burgers. And maybe this is ego or something, but genuinely, since that day, since that first interview that I got rejected at, I haven't applied to a single job since then. Of course, I'm grateful that that happened, because if I got a normal job and I went down like the normal route, I wouldn't have been able to go through editing and making the money that I am now and having the impact that you see here. But in hindsight, I genuinely still believe if I had work experience, if I had already worked in that area, so in like customer service, I think I would have gotten that job. At the time, I was kind of pissed off because it's like, that's so stupid. Why do I need work experience to get a job? But me trying to get this job is me getting work experience. Like, it's just this never-ending cycle where you can never escape. Like, it's a game that you can't even win. But as I'm getting older, the more I work and the more I'm like interacting with clients and I'm going about my life and entrepreneurship, the more I'm realizing that you can get pissed off at the game. Sure, you need work experience to get work. Like, it's a flaw in the game. Maybe it is. But you can't do anything about it. So now you've got two choices. Either you complain that the game's too hard, that it's not fair that I have to get experience first, or the second option, probably a smarter option, is to play the game anyways. Because in the same way that you can't get like a normal job without work experience, it's kind of hard. Clients don't give a shit that you've never worked with another client before. If you've never edited a video, they're probably not going to trust you enough to pay you to edit theirs. If you clicked on this video, likelihood is you want to make money from editing. Sure, it's like you maybe got in as a hobby or you're just getting into it now. It's kind of new to you, but long term, like, you would say like, yeah, I want to make a shit ton of money from this, and that's not a bad thing. I feel like so many people like shun you on the idea that you want to make money. Genuinely, it's so weird because I will say like, yeah, I like making money. You're watching this video, you would say that, yeah, you like to make money, and if you can turn your hobby, like something you do for fun, into something like disgustingly profitable, why wouldn't you? So like, bro, I'm just telling you now, like, it's cool that you want to make money from editing. If you see you want to make like 5k, 10k, 12k, like if you want to make the money from editing, that's cool. The only problem is you need to realize that people aren't going to pay you out of pity. Even if you want to make like a single dollar, people don't owe you shit. Right now, if you're trying to get clients, you probably want someone that at least pays you a bit. You want to be paid for your time, and that's completely okay. But if there is someone who's offering the exact same thing, and a lot of the time they'll do it for cheaper, I'm telling you now, like no matter who you think you are, there is always a guy that's going to be in another country. There's always a kid in India that's going to be willing to do the same work for less. And that's not even me being like racist or some shit. It's just true, innit? Like there is going to be someone who's willing to work for less just purely because they don't have as much living expenses. And sure, you can complain. Once again, you can complain about the game. You can say, hey, he's taking down the prices for all us editors. But the truth is, whether you like it or not, he's going to be doing that. All you can focus on is becoming more valuable and making it so that you're not even compared to anyone else. These guys that you're looking to work with, whether it be these guys at 50, 100 bucks, or even like the same concept applies if you're going to 5, 6, 700 a video. These guys that are willing to pay for work, these paying clients are looking for paid quality work. And it doesn't matter if you can promise them high retention and motion graphics and you have nothing to show, and you're promising them crazy results, but you don't even have work to show them. Like if a homeless guy came up to you right now on the street and he was like, yo bro, I have this car right now that I can sell you this Lamborghini. Like I don't have it on me right now, but I promise you if you give me $20, you will have a Lamborghini. Like I'll give that to you, I promise. Like I have it. It's in another place. Like you just can't see it right now. Of course you wouldn't believe him, right? Like you'd think, oh, he's either lying, or even if I give him the 20 bucks, he's just gonna walk away. Like that's stupid. There's nothing for me to trust him. And that's exactly how a client feels when there's 500 different editors telling them that they can maximize retention and do motion graphics when they have no work to show. And even if they do have a video on their portfolio or they're just sharing a Google Drive link, it's probably the worst video that they've ever seen. It's this random video that they spent 2 hours making, or it's, you know, those show reels where it's like, you can tell they put no effort into it. It's, I can do subtitles, I can do text, I can do cutting. No shit, that's the bare basics. Like coming back to like that homeless guy example, imagine he was promising you the same Lamborghini, he still didn't have it on him. He was like, look, I have a toy car, like look at this like Hot Wheels car that I can show you. I promise, look, if I have this, it means I can also have a Lamborghini. It's like there's no correlation. So if you want to get a client of a certain caliber, of a certain level, you need the work all ready to show that you are on their level. And the way you do that, especially if you're starting out, is through practice edits. Now this isn't a sexy answer, it's not some AI tool or some random tip, some golden like silver bullet that's going to save your career. But honestly, if you don't want to hear this, you can leave. If you wanted a quick answer, but honestly, I'm going to tell you what's actually going to help you. What you need to do right now is do a practice edit or like a trial or some sort of like video with practice footage, and you're going to use that as almost like a catapult to get you into the editing space. What I'm telling you is that instead of being like every other shitty editor who rushes a video and tries to get work as quickly as possible, you're going to take quite a while. You might take an entire week of working 4 or 5 hours a day on this one video, and you're going to make it as good as possible, because this is ultimately going to be the one video that attracts clients. The video that you work on right now, I'm going to tell you where to get the footage and like the actionable steps straight after this, but the video you work on right now, this is going to be the one that potential clients see. So depending on how good it is will determine the level of clients that you get, because this is where the majority of editors fall short. They'll do these practice edits, they'll do these things, they'll work hard on a video, but the problem is they have the complete wrong mindset about it. There's this quote which I love, which is, most people honestly, they think in days. Then you have a few smarter guys who think in weeks, like they're thinking a little more long term, and then a little bit smarter than that, they're thinking in months. They're not so like sporadic, they're actually thinking a little longer term. But there are very few people that are able to think in years, and even past that, it's men that think in decades who are genuinely dangerous. For the majority of editors, they're just like a normal person where they don't think about a long-term benefit of working hard on a video. What they think is, if I can rush this video now, in 2 days I might get a client. But what they don't realize is that by rushing this video now, they compromise any future clients, because like I said, a paying client is looking for paid quality work. Are they going to take a rushed video? Probably not. And it's like, even deep down, they know that, oh, if this video was better, of course I would get better clients, but they struggle to find like the motivation, the energy to actually try on this edit. And why? It's because it's unpaid. This practice video that you're doing isn't going to be paid for. I'm not going to bullshit you with like other editing creators. I will let you edit this $100 practice video and you will get $500. It's like they're doing that to like fucking fry your dopamine receptors, because they know like 99% of editors are absolute retards and they'll come take the bait. What I'm telling you is that you are not going to be paid for this practice edit. So most editors hear that and they think, oh, that means I'm not going to try on it. But the problem is, that's you thinking in days. What a smarter editor does, he'll work hard in a video. He understands, yeah, it's not paid, but this one project will allow me in 2 weeks from now to get a client better than other people get in a year. And when I work on that person's video, even if he's paying me 20, 30 bucks, I'm gonna work so hard on that he could genuinely believe that, yeah, I would probably work as hard on this as a $300 project. I'm only getting paid 30 bucks, but it's like, if I can work hard on this, that means I'll be able to put that onto my portfolio, meaning a $200 client will look at me and be like, wow. And of course that takes time, but it's thinking in these months, these years and decades that turns into genuinely a monster when it comes to editing. Be honest right now, what's your goals for like 2024? Like, I'm posting to 2024. If you're watching this at a later date, man, that's cool. But what are your goals right now? Genuinely ask yourself. Maybe you set these like small goals of like, oh, 500 a month, 1,000 a month. But more likely than not, if you're like one of us, if you're someone that would like to help for me, you probably have huge goals like 10K a month, 15K a month. Like, even if it's like 5K a month, that would be cool. What I'm telling you isn't that you should dumb down your goals, that you should be less ambitious. What I'm saying is that you can do it, but it is going to be over quite a long time. It took me 3 years to even get my first $10,000 month, and I've genuinely dedicated my life to editing. My first ever paid video was a Fortnite video that I got over some random Discord server for $5. The guy just reached out to me, gave me Fortnite clips and asked if I'll take $5, and I was 16 at the time, so of course it's like, I'm gonna take $5, bro. We said pay half first, half after, $2.50. He left me after the second half. I got scammed for my first video. So you might see the journey that I've been on, the editing that I do, the clients that I work with, and you might think like, oh, Malice is so lucky. Bro, I've been through the shit as well. I had to go through those grind days just like you are in right now. What I'm telling you is that it is going to be hard. It does take an extremely long time to get there, and of course there's a way to speed that up, and it's like, that's what I teach as well. Like, my whole mission is to get editors to where I am now, but in a lot less time. So of course there's ways to speed it up, but it will take time. So while you are working on this practice video, just have the mindset that, yeah, I'm gonna make this video my best. Like, I'm gonna make it as good as possible. I'm gonna spend an entire week on it, because that'll mean that I can show a client and they'll be a lot more likely to say yes and just give me a shot. Because when you're starting out, you literally have no leverage. Leverage is almost like how important your words are. You having leverage in a conversation is almost like, imagine you and a teacher get into an argument. In most cases, the teacher is going to win the argument. Why? Because they're the authority figure. They're going to be backed by other teachers. Every student looks up to them. It's like, if you and a teacher go into an argument, the teacher has more leverage. They're probably going to win the argument. In the same way, when you're starting out as an editor, you and a creator, the creator has all the leverage. He's the one with the money. He's the one that has 1,000 other editors that he can choose from. You are the one with less leverage. And when you have less leverage, what that means is that you have to put in more work to get the same result as someone who has more leverage. This isn't even an ego thing, but genuinely, if me and you right now spoke to the same creator and we offered, let's say, the same price, who's going to get the job? Be honest. It's probably going to be me, right? If you're learning from me, that's not even me trying to be an arsehole, but if you're learning from me, likelihood is I'm probably at least a little bit better at editing and I have more leverage in the conversation. So when you have less leverage, you need to do more work to make up for it. I'm at a stage in my like entrepreneurial and just like my life in general where I've achieved like a decent amount. I am nowhere near where I want to be, of course, but I've built something for myself. I've built my editing brand. I've built like a business there. Like, I've done a lot more than most 18-year-olds. But of course, I'm trying to be more ambitious, and what that means is I need to network with people that are a lot larger than me. So when I'm trying to network with these high-level guys, when I go to like cafes, like sometimes I'm actually like preparing to do this now. I'm thinking of like moving to London. So I'm from Luton, which is a smaller town, but I'm planning on like going to London just to stay for a few weeks, just so I can network with high-level guys, go to cafes and speak to them. And I'm going in with the mindset where it's like, okay, these guys have a lot more money than me, they're more experienced, they just have more leverage than me. That means that I'm gonna have to do most of the work. What does that look like while you're networking with someone bigger than you? It's me buying the coffee for the other person. He might have more money than me, but I need to do more to impress him. I need to find ways where I can teach him something. Maybe he knows all the stuff about business, but there's this one tiny area that he doesn't know about. Maybe he knows all about like business and like funnels and stuff, but I know about video editing. So it's like I can teach him how to hire a video editor for his business. So I can add value to him in that way. And maybe at the end of the conversation, he gives me like 2 tiny tips which could have helped me. So for me to get value out of him, I need to give a lot more first. But of course, when I grow up, when I become more of a successful entrepreneur, when I'm going more towards like the 20, 30K a month, that's genuinely where I want to be within the next few years. When I'm there, then maybe I can start speaking to him in more mutual terms. And then the people larger than me, I still need to give them a lot more before they give a bit more, and I grow like that. In the same way with editing, when you're just starting out, you don't have leverage, therefore you need to put in a lot more upfront work. So I'm going to tell you exactly where you can find the practice footage. Honestly, I have another video on this, but I'll give you it now. There's this thing that I made called the editing vault. It's this all-in-one resource where it's like a Notion template, but I've spent genuinely months and months making this. It's got all the project tracker, it's got all these different areas to it. You can experiment with that. There's a tutorial on it once you sign up. But the main thing you're going to be looking for is this folder called practice footage. In there, I've got like 5 or 6 different videos of actual client videos that I've worked on, and I'm giving them to you for you to work with. It's completely for free. You can sign up by going in the link in the description. Like, you don't have to pay me anything for it, and you can go through it more in depth later, but practice footage in that editing vault in the description is going to be the main thing that you're looking for. Once you've got that, I want you to genuinely pick one of them and spend the next week working on it every single day. You're going to make this video. Maybe you're not the best right now, but you're going to try for your level. You're going to get it as good as you can. And then once you've done that, that is the video you are now going to show your potential clients. You're going to reach out to YouTubers on Twitter, on Discord, and literally any platform. Right now, if you're really new, do it on everything. The more volume you can get when you're new, the better it is. Like we said, at the beginning, you don't have leverage. So literally any action that you do will be better than none. So take that video that you've edited, spend a week on it, make it as good as possible, and show it to as many creators and say that you're going to work for them. And if anything, you might need to work for free for a while. You might need to work for $5. This isn't me saying that, oh, it's good to underpay editors, that editors aren't worth anything. Bro, I charge over $1,000 per video. Trust me when I say I am someone that understands the value of editors. But what I'm saying is that right now, if you have never had a client before, the harsh reality is maybe you're not that valuable, and that's okay because you're just starting out. But please don't have the ego to think that you are both valuable and you don't have clients. The two cannot happen at the same time. You can't be good at editing and valuable and the brand's in place and you're doing everything perfectly and you don't get clients. If you're watching this video now, it is because you are clearly not valuable enough, and that's okay because you're just starting. My plan is to help you, and I can only do that if you genuinely listen to me, because I promise you, everything I say now is out of love. I'm not saying this to piss you off. Like, there might be one kid who gets annoyed. It's like, I can't help him. If you're watching this now, you are someone that I can help, and I'm willing to help you because editing is genuinely something that I wish more editors could find out how to make more money from it. The reason I do the videos I do, like, I don't get paid a shit ton for this, don't get me wrong. I like money, like, I'll probably monetize a lot more later on, but this is something that, even money or not, I was helping editors from literally last year, a year and a half ago. And the more editors I help, the more information I share, the more, like, I'm getting my people results, the more I'm realizing, like, this is no longer just a few pixels here or there. The money that you make from editing is genuinely life-changing money. I have genuinely journaled about this where I talk about the impact of my work, where it's like the money that not only I make as an editor, but that I help other editors make, not only does it change their lives, like the confidence you walk around with when you know, like, yeah, I make money, I've built something for my own. It's not like it's daddy's money, like, I've actually built something on my own, so I can walk around with confidence. Not only that, but even the people around you. It was about 6-7 months ago, and I was speaking to this editor on call. Honestly, I think he was trying to buy my course, and like, he couldn't pay for it, so he jumped in a call with me because he wanted to join, and he couldn't like manage to figure out how to pay for it. And I jumped in a call with him trying to sort it out, and honestly, I think 6-7 months ago, I was a lot more like monetarily driven. Like, of course, I still love money, but money was my main focus back then. And I jumped on this call with this guy trying to help him, and my main intention was like, okay, let's just get the payment sorted, and if you need any questions, I'll help. But it's like, I got on with my day. So we jump in call, he sorts out his PayPal, he pays for it, I send him the course and everything, and we stay in call for a little longer. He's kind of just thanking me for the help that I've provided to the editing community. He's saying how genuinely, like, he's made so much progress over the last few months, more progress than he has in the last few years because of what I post and how I help. And I'm saying that, oh, I'm grateful for it, and I genuinely was. Like, I'm like, cool. But it was at this moment that I genuinely realized the impact of my work. He's telling me how he's from India, so he's not from like a first world country, and he was explaining how the money that he made has changed his life. And of course, I'm saying like, oh yeah, I'm grateful, like, okay, that's cool, like, I make you more money, that's awesome, that's my job, like, I help editors make more money. And he was telling me that he was able to buy his mum a gift this year with the money he made. And I was saying like, well done. Like, genuinely, I think gift giving is such a beautiful thing. I think once you go past a certain amount of money where you're comfortable, honestly, buying more shit for yourself doesn't make you more happy. This is something I had to realize for myself. You get a lot more happiness from giving to others, and I promote that a lot for my editors. So I was saying like, well done, like, that's amazing. And then he said something that genuinely broke my heart. He said that he wanted to buy his mum this perfume last year for her birthday, but she couldn't afford it. And now, because of the work that we do here, that we're editing and I'm teaching editors how to make money from a hobby, he was able to buy his mum a gift that he couldn't afford last year. Imagine wanting to give back to your family, to the one person who's genuinely given you more than any other person walking this planet. You want to give back, but you can't. So they've put in all this energy into you and you can't even show your appreciation, not because you don't want to, because genuinely you cannot afford it. I think that one of the most beautiful feelings that I felt for myself, and even like in my public server, so I have like a public Discord server, sometimes I do calls, and even in like my private like calls and stuff, I talk about this idea of giving back to your people, and genuinely every single editor without fail talks about how like fulfilling it is. I promise you, like, I don't fucking cry often. I'm not a guy that like gets too emotional that easily, but there's very few things that will make like a fucking tear come to my eye. I promise you. It was in this moment when he told me that he was able to buy a gift for his mum that he couldn't afford last year, and he's telling me like, thank you, Malice, like, I appreciate you. You were the reason I was able to do that. I promise you, like, I was trying to stay all stoic and shit, but like a fucking tear like started like forming and shit, man. When you go into this path of editing, the one that I'm helping you go on, and maybe you're starting right now, maybe you've gotten a little more advanced, but it's a long journey, I'll be honest. It might take you a year, 2 years, it might, but at the end of it, it's quite literally a life that you couldn't even imagine right now. Not only do you live your life so freely that you know that you could do whatever you want with your day. Like, I don't go to university anymore. In 2 days, I'm gonna be traveling. Like, I don't know when this video is getting posted, but in a day or two, I'm gonna be traveling to some random other city. I'm just gonna be recording there. Not because I have to, but I'm gonna take my laptop. Like, I can edit videos while I'm there. I'm gonna take my camera, I'm gonna record. Like, this is what people meant by financial freedom. I'm sitting in my home right now. I can work. I can go to a cafe. I'm gonna go to a library after this just to work for a while. In a few days, I'm gonna go traveling with my sister just to work for a bit, and I'm gonna be recording, and it's gonna be amazing. I wouldn't have been able to do that if I was locked down in a normal like 9-to-5 job. Everyone else my age right now, but I'm 18, I'm turning 19 this month. Everyone my age is either in university or working a normal job right now. And sure, that's not me shitting on those like options. Of course, like, entrepreneurship isn't for everyone, but because I have gone onto this path, I'm able to say that I live my life genuinely how I want to. Of course, it's still hard. Like, there's days I don't want to record, there's days I don't want to edit, but overall, I would say that's a sacrifice I'm willing to take. Like, if I had to make the choice between working 5 days a week in a job I hate with people around me that I don't really care about, and every single night I come home late and the next day I have to do the exact same thing, you're literally living for the weekend. If I had to choose between that and me saying that I make 5 to 10k a month, basically working a few hours a day on work that I love, on videos that I would watch for fun anyways, from my home, literally the same seat. Like, I would play Fortnite in the same chair that I'm in right now a few years ago, but now I'm still having fun on the same chair. The difference is I'm making thousands because of it, and I've changed my life with the money I make, and I've helped hundreds of editors do the same. When I'm able to say that, I'm able to buy some random person a coffee. Like, I'll meet someone new that I'll just get into small talk. So I go to cafes and libraries quite often, and a lot of the time I'll like cold approach people. I'll get to know new people, and when you're able to say like, oh, I'll buy you a coffee, like, it's cool, like, do you want a coffee? I'm gonna go get one, and you just order it for them. That one coffee might have cost you $3-4. Like, realistically, it's not much money to you once you've made a decent amount of money, but you have genuinely made that person's day, if not probably their week. The journey that you're on now, genuinely, you could change your life and the lives of the people that you love. And I genuinely believe that now you're on here, now that you know the impact you could have, I see it as almost like a moral obligation to follow through. And this isn't even me saying like, oh, by the way, you have to follow me. It's like, you know how impactful that what you're doing could be. I see it as disgusting that you could take that away from those people. The reason I still work so hard, of course, I love my work, but there are days like I'll wake up a little tired and I don't feel like it. The reason I work anyways is because I've seen the impact that my work can have on other people. And how selfish would I be to know that I have the potential, like this gift to give to someone, and because I'm a little lazy, that I'm unwilling to work a little harder just to help these people that have genuinely dedicated their lives to me. The reason I work so hard, the reason I love making the money I do, it's not, of course, like, I'll take care of myself, but mostly, like, bro, I love taking care of like my parents and the people that are around me that I love. I think the journey you're going on is so beautiful, and it's so fulfilling to me that I'm able to help editors go onto that same journey. A lot of my videos, if you resonate with what I've been talking about for the last few minutes, my shit, like my content is going to be for you. You can scroll down, you can subscribe, you can click like the red subscribe button, and then you can watch this video here. It'll be another video that YouTube thinks that you'll like.